instructions on everything that you need to be doing for this week and next week. The biggest thing is to make sure that you're just taking notes as quickly as possible after you present about what you think went well, what you feel like needed improvement, etc. And that's not only for just yourself, but group members as well. And then after that, I will give some information about for next week in reference to the final and what's going to be expected. But all of that will, come in a message after tonight, and I'll send some YouTube links with all these videos. Any questions before we get started?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna, who's starting? Is it Ethan or is it Monica?
I'm starting.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Monica, we'll start with you, and then we'll let you take it away. Hold on, well, let me just make sure it's recording. Okay, yeah, it is. Perfect.
Welcome to the last Vote For Us event. So far, we have heard from the Vote for Donald Trump, Michelle Obama, and Martin Luther King Jr. groups. And now we will hear from our final group. Their chosen candidate is an individual who has created one of the most remarkable achievements for women. First female Vice President Kamala Harris has showed women and young girls that they too can accomplish anything once they set their mind to it. She is most passionate about women's rights, climate change, immigration, and LGBTQ rights. She has many plans that she would like to put into action, which consist of expansion of healthcare access and methods to fight the overwhelmingly growing problem, climate change. One thing I would like to add before we move on is how voting is extremely important. The right to vote is the foundation of any democracy. Your political participation, such as voting, is extremely important because one decision can make a significant change. The leaders who decide to vote or elect, whether at a federal, state, or even county level, these leaders have the abilities to control the policies and consequences you and your families have to live with every single day, from the taxes you pay to the water quality and the very air we breathe. Kamala Harris once said, "If you are fortunate to have opportunity, it is your duty to make sure other people have those opportunities as well." And now that we've discussed why voting is essential, the following group will advocate for their candidate, Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris for president. We will discuss when you think of the first woman to be the first to achieve any huge impact, who comes to mind? For us, the first woman that comes to mind would be Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is the first female vice president in U.S. history, as well as the first African American and first Asian American vice president. Vote for Harris. Together, we can achieve more. What makes Kamala a great candidate? We will discuss the background of our candidate, the qualifications, the contributions, funds, political stance, and all the other things that make Kamala Harris a great candidate. Qualifications for Kamala Harris. She was born in Oakland, California, and has been a resident of the United States her whole life. She attended Howard University, where she graduated with a degree in political science and economics. While attending Howard, she also interned as a mailroom clerk for a California senator, chaired the Economic Society, and led the debate team. After she graduated from Howard, she attended law school at the University of California, Hastings College. The law, through its legal education opportunity program, also known as LEOP. While attending UC Hastings, she served as the president of its chapter, the Black Law Students Association. She graduated UC Hastings in 1989 with a Juris Doctor, and when she was admitted to the California bar the following year. Our candidate is a long-running figure in the political scene with many held roles, positions, and achievements throughout her career. Here are some of the most relevant and grand of her accomplishments. Deputy District Attorney in Alameda County, San Francisco Attorney General. Harris defeated her former boss, becoming the first Black woman to hold office. Attorney General California, she narrowly beat LA County District Attorney Steve Cooley in the race in 2010. She is the U.S. Senator of California. Kamala Harris took her seat in 2016, becoming the first South Asian American to enter the Senate. These accomplishments have showed, and our candidate would be overqualified and is an overachiever for her position if elected. Qualifications continued. Our candidate is a long-running figure in the political scene with many held roles, positions, and achievements throughout her career. Here are some of the most relevant and grand of her accomplishments. Vice President of the United States, Harris became the first woman and woman of color to serve as Vice President of the United States. Serving as the Vice President of the United States is a monumental role and one that gives Harris lots of experience in the position, working closely with President Joe Biden.
Kamala Harris is very active in organizations as well as contributing to charities and donations. The following are organizations in which Kamala Harris advocates for: Planned Parenthood, which provides reproductive health in the US, Human Rights Campaign, which is an LGBTQ advocacy group, Alliance for Retired Americans, which is an organization of retired trade union members, and Children's Defense Fund, which focuses on child advocacy. She has picked organizations that have been especially valuable amid the pandemic: Bananas, a resource to help families access childcare; UFW Foundation, which is affiliated with the United Farm Workers Labor Group; and Homeboy Industries. The Los Angeles group helps formerly gang-involved and incarcerated people re-enter society through job training and support, which Harris has a long history with. Kamala Harris is also extremely involved in the political world, thus making her a viable candidate due to her prior experience. She started her career as the Deputy District Attorney in Alameda County. Harris worked for San Francisco City Attorney as the Chief of the Community and Neighborhood Division, specializing in prosecuting child sexual assault cases. She is also the first Black woman to be elected District Attorney of San Francisco and served from 2004 to 2010. She also served as the Attorney General of California from 2011 to 2017. She became the first Black and South Asian American woman to serve. As potential president, Kamala Harris has a lot to offer this country. In voting for Kamala Harris, you will be getting a president who represents women in leadership, helped mark a history high for women when joining 20 other women in the US Senate in 2017, educational gains for women, and educational attainment.
Kamala Harris supports a lot of social and economic issues that, if acted on, can change our daily lives for the better. Some of these issues are very controversial but need to be acted on. She supports abortion, the First Step Act, legalization of marijuana, paying tuition of students earning $125,000 or less, gun control, change in immigration, LGBTQ rights, the Protecting Disaster Relief Funds Act, Wildfire Defense Act, Consumer Protection, the Choose Medicare Act, and more. These are a couple of the many topics Harris supports and wants to act on. To go into further detail on how these issues being acted on could change our lives for the better, protecting Planned Parenthood and a woman's decision on whether she chooses to abort or not is very controversial, as there are a lot of religious and personal beliefs behind it. However, Harris believes enforcing a law on abortion would violate women's rights. The First Step Act is aimed to reduce reconviction rates by providing programs such as training to help them and encourage them to live a better life once they're out. Harris also supports mandatory minimum sentences for nonviolent drug offenders in order to be able to punish them fairly. In supporting the creation of government funding program to pay for tuitions of students who earn 125,000 or less, Harris believes more people will be encouraged to go to school as money is no longer an issue. In order to take action against the various shootings and murders happening almost daily, Harris supports gun control and is often trying to propose gun laws. However, most of her proposals always end up getting turned down due to the National Rifle Association and the potential violation of the Second Amendment. Harris strongly believes there needs to be an immigration reform. She believes separating children from their families does nothing but cause unnecessary trauma. Harris has also tried to pass acts where ICE cannot detain pregnant women as they have failed to provide adequate care that has resulted in health issues and miscarriages. If any of these issues affect you or your loved ones, you should vote for Kamala Harris.
In conclusion, based on her background, qualifications, contributions to society, political stance, and various other qualities, Kamala Harris makes a great presidential candidate. Being a part of a group that helped place a woman in office as the president is a huge part of history. You can be a huge part of this history if you vote Kamala Harris. Finally, if you want someone whose focus is to improve the United States, vote for Harris. Together, we can achieve more.
It sounded like you guys did your conclusion, but I didn't know if Neva is gonna go.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused because my part was said in the beginning. So I don't really know.
So your part was the
Because
introduction.
I had the qualifications part.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And it was already covered by Natalia.
Yes.
Okay. So anything you want to say in reference to wrap things up based on what's been said?
Okay, well, basically, Harris has all kinds of experience. Like I said, she's been the Attorney General of California, of San Francisco, and obviously she's been the vice president, which I think is a substantial role in being qualified for the presidency. I would see no other role being higher than that besides the obvious presidency. So I think that she'd make an excellent candidate, and yeah, pretty much.
And it's clear by everything that was said tonight that she has
Yeah.
lots of experience.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm sorry that happened, especially if
it's
you
okay.
help create the content. Not having that there, I totally can get.
No,
You're
it's
like, what do I
okay.
say? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I am going to let Ethan wrap it up for us, and I will send this out.
All right, so Kamala Harris is already a history maker. She's both the first ever woman and the first woman of color to be elected as Vice President of the United States. We first heard about Kamala Harris's presidential campaign from this group throughout Media Day, where they talked about her stance on issues like climate change, gun control, and immigration, to name a few. Those stances were then expanded upon throughout the Great Debate. Just now, this Vote for Us presentation walked us through why Kamala Harris should make history once again and achieve another momentous accolade. Be the first female president of the United States. This campaign showed us her plans for the future, her experience and qualification, and why this group believes Harris is a better choice than the other running candidates. With Media Day and Great Debate behind us, and with this being the last Vote for Us presentation, it will soon be time to take everything into consideration and vote for the person that you believe should be the next president of the United States. Like they always say, may the best candidate win.
Okay, fantastic job. Thank you for closing it up for us, Ethan. I want to thank the media group for putting all of these together and working to have people here, especially on this one that we were trying to find the date that works. I know Monica and Ethan, you kind of moved your schedule around, so I thank you very much. I will post this along with what's supposed to happen next. So make sure you're looking for that tomorrow to get posted. And then you'll have obviously I'm going to give you till Monday night for the first portion. And then you'll have till the following Sunday for the second portion. But it will be a 2-page paper. So again, you definitely want to be making sure that all the things that you're thinking about right now, make sure you journal that so it'll be easier to write your paper. What worked, what didn't work, what some of the downfalls were, what you felt like you did well on, all that stuff. Okay? Any questions? All right, I'll see you guys later.